Hi, and welcome to this walkthrough of this digital literacy assessment. Here we're going to be going over this rubric about how to test your student to see how well they are doing with computers and emails and Google Drive. So the key here is going to be based on a scale starting with DK doesn't know how to do the task, self-corrected, was able to figure out how to do the task through exploration, or the check mark just means that they knew how to do it right away without having to figure it out. Over here in the notes and details, feel free to write whatever notes that you observe, but there will also be a couple prompts for some common mistakes and things that you may be looking for, or ways to differentiate how they were able to finish the task. So moving right into it, the first task is going to be sending emails. So we have to actually use Chrome browser in order to use some of the features later on in this test. So if you go ahead and log into your Google account on Chrome, you will have this, your email. If you do not have your email come up immediately, you could always find it over here. You're going to look for the email labeled Digital Literacy, and you're going to want to go ahead and reply to all one of two ways, and you're just going to say thank you. And then you can go ahead and send that. Next, we're going to type an email to yourself. We're going to, the subject line will be technology. And then you're going to go ahead and use your home keys to write a passage that is dictated by your tutor. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up that process. While the student is typing, the evaluator should be keeping track to make sure how well, if they're able to use their home keys, if they're able to use the home keys with some errors, if they can use them with good proficiency, or are they able to use the home keys without looking at all. After that, we want to also include a salutation and signature. So we can go ahead and bring that down, and whatever you want to write in here, greetings, to whom it may concern, to whoever, and then some sort of sincerely, best, love, whatever works, and just have that greeting and salutation there. Alright, so on to task 3 is going to be sending the email, but first we're going to also be adding a couple things as well. So we want to add a hyperlink. So in order to do this, we're going to go to the Kildonan homepage, and we're going to copy, and I press Control-C, or with a Mac it's going to be Command-C, and Command-V in order to paste it. Now this is not an active clickable link, so we're going to want to highlight it, and we're going to want to press this little chain button here to create that hyperlink. There, now we have a clickable link. Next we're going to insert a picture, so let's just go here and find some picture that we can go ahead and either save image as, if you want to save it on your hard drive, or for these purposes we can just copy the image. Then we're going to go ahead back, and we will again Command V, paste it in there, or if we wanted to right click. So next we also want to attach a file, so we're going to attach a file by hitting the paperclip button here. Let's just go ahead and find a downloaded file, and there. And so now this file has been also attached to the email. Next is going to be attaching a Google Drive file. So here's a little Google Drive symbol, and we will simply find some sort of, and we will just copy of the rubric right there. And there it is. Okay, so when that's done, we're just going to send the email. Alright, for the fourth task, we're going to manage our emails by creating a label. This can be found by going to the More tab at the bottom, and then Create New Label. And you're going to label it Technology. which I already have. So I'm just going to, you would click create, and then you want to be able to move this from here. You can move to whichever label you want, which for you it's going to be the technology folder. You could also click the box, and you could also move it this way to here, or a third way would be just grabbing it and clicking and dragging it over to here. Okay, now if we go into digital literacy, we can see our emails here. What we also want to do is we're going to star the email. So we're going to find the little star here and click that, and then we want to check our starred folder just to see where it went. So here you see it right in the top there. And finally, for this task, we're going to go ahead and check the spam folder, which again is in this labels tab. It should be under more, and there's our spam, just so they know where to go for our spam folder. Okay, so for the fifth task, we're now going to log into Google Drive. So we're going to go ahead into Drive. You should not have to put a password in, since they already put a password in for the email. Okay, and we're going to create a new folder called Technology. Create. They're also going to create a Google Doc. You can create it within the technology folder, but for now I'm going to create it outside just so I can show you how to move it into it. So here's the Google Doc. We're also going to name this doc Technology. Alright, and now click down here and you'll see this folder pop up, and this is how we're going to check to see where it is located. So currently we want to move this item into my drive. We're going to hit not this, but we're going to click this arrow. And we're going to find our technology folder down here. Right, now I have two. And we can click into that and move here. Okay, for the next task, we're going to add a heading. So really all that's going to be is your name and the date. And that's all we really need. Just make sure you're not putting it up here into the header, because that's just for titles and page numbers. And that's fine for all we're doing here. After that, we're going to go ahead and type the lowercase alphabet, checking to see their proficiency with the home keys. And just note any mistakes they make. Are they using the proper home keys? Can they do it without looking if they're proficient enough at the home keys? Okay, so next we're going to go back into our emails. And this is the 8th task. We're going to go back to our inbox. Actually, we can go into, if we go into our technology folder, and back into this, or the starred folder where we found this, we're going to go ahead and just copy, Control C or Command C, and we're going to paste it back into our technology document. So now we're just going to change the font, so we're going to highlight everything and change this to Times New Roman. You may have to search for it if you haven't used it recently, and 12 point. Now we're going to take the title, which is Overview, and we're going to center it using this or Control C, and then we can bold it by either pressing this or Control B. We're also going to indent the paragraph, and we're going to highlight everything again and double space. So we're going to go into Format, we're going to go to Line Spacing, and then double. And there may be other ways to do this too. There's a double spacing here, and you can do it that way as well. Okay, the next objective is going to be using voice typing and screen reading. So we're going to use voice typing to add a quote. To activate voice typing, you need to be in the Chrome browser, and we need to go into Tools and click on voice typing. You may need to activate your microphone if it is not already activated. Next, you're going to have the student dictate the following. Technology is just a tool, period. In terms of getting kids to work together and motivating them, comma, the teacher is most important, period. Bill Gates. After that, we can turn it off and delete anything that isn't supposed to be there, check to see if anything needs to be edited. And now we're going to use a screen reader to read this quote. If you're using a Mac, under accessibility, you should be able to set up screen reading. But since I have a PC, the narrator doesn't work too well, so I downloaded this extension called Read and Write. So I can go ahead and highlight this and press play.
Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting kids to work together and motivating them, the teacher is most important. Bill Gates.
And that's how that works. So for task number 10, I'm going to get out of this plugin, and we're going to insert a table, 3 by 3. So you can just go ahead, insert table, and we're going to choose 3 by 3. I just want to make sure that they can make a table. We don't really have to put anything into it. The next objective, we're going to make sure that they can use bullet points. So on the additional tech support page, we're going to have them type using bullets. We're going to go ahead up here, hit bullets, doesn't matter what kind. And then we're also going to use sub-bullets by pressing Tab. And then we can go back to regular bullets either by pressing Enter again, or we can press Shift-Tab to go backwards. Once they finish using the bullet points, we're going to go ahead and insert a chart. So we can go ahead and get rid of that, insert, chart, and whatever kind of chart, just to show them that this is available, bar chart, column, pie chart. And there's that. And then once we have that done, we can also insert a picture. So again, we're going to go into Insert and Image. And we can go ahead and just choose an image to upload. And any image will do, and there it is. For the next task, task number 11, we're going to use spell check to make sure that there's no spelling errors. And I don't think there are, but just make sure that they know how to go to spelling and no spelling suggestions. Next, they're going to define a word. So let's go ahead and highlight daunting. And there are a couple ways to do this, but I think the easiest would just be to right-click it and go to define. And over here it has a dictionary and also has different synonyms and antonyms as well for thesaurus. Next, we're going to go ahead and highlight it again, and we're going to explore the text. So again, we're going to right-click and right above define is explore, and that brings up a Google search for the word if there's anything they want to do further research in. Next, we're going to take a screenshot of the screen, and we're going to put that image right into the document. So let's get out of this, and we will also get out of the voice typing. So for a Mac, in order to take a screenshot, you're going to press Control, Shift, and 4, or Command, Shift, and 4. For a PC, it's a little different. What we want to do is there's a tool called Snipping Tool. And this comes standard on PCs, and we just hit New, and we can go ahead and take a picture of whatever we want and save. I'll save it right in here. I can exit here, and now we're going to go ahead and insert an image again. And we're going to go ahead and find where we put that, and now this is the screenshot of the pyramid. We have a screenshot that was sort of put right in the middle of the text. If you wanted to move it, you can just go ahead and click and drag it down to wherever you would like. Okay, so there you have it. It's a bit of a messy page, but it shows a lot of what you can do in Google Docs. So next we're going to go ahead and share. And you can share this with myself and Mr. Sorrentino. And your tutor as well. We also want to, over here, you can give editing permissions. So whether it's just to edit, to comment, or view, you can keep it so that we can edit is fine. If you want to go into more advanced, you can keep it private. You can change exactly who can see this, all in here. Okay, and once that's shared, we're going to go ahead and explore print options. So here we're going to go ahead to the print button. And we just want to be able to see where we can change the printer and see the options. So this is the printer I'm going to use right now. We also want to see, just that they know, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but where the options are for page range. So here, if you had a 10-page paper or maybe a website where the end is all advertisements, you could say only want to print 1 through 5, or you could do 1, 4 through 6, or however you want to choose. This is only 2 pages, so it's not necessary, but just want to make sure that they understand how to use the print range. We also want to make sure they know how to make extra copies right here, however many they would like. We also want to see how they can change it from portrait to landscape. And it's a little, you have to dig in here a little bit. If you go to preferences, and here it is, orientation, portrait, or landscape. You can also see if you want to print on both sides. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and print the document. So the next thing we want to see what they can do is if they can download as a different format. Sometimes the Google Doc format does not read well with other programs. So what we can do is go to File and Download As, and then we can convert it to a number of formats. Some of the useful ones being a PDF and a .docx, so it's a Microsoft Word file. So we're going to go ahead and download it as a .docx file. And on Chrome, the download went down here, and we're going to click on that. And here it is in a docx format. We could save as, and we can save it right onto the desktop. Now that that's saved, we can get out of that, and what we're going to do is go into our drive, and we're going to create a new Google Slides. We're going to name this. We always want to have a name up here so it's not, everything isn't untitled. And name it Technology. We're going to name the slideshow also Technology. And we're going to choose a theme. So over here is a variety of different themes, and you can pick whichever one you like and also customize these as well. Down here, we're going to go ahead and put our name and the date. And that's all we really need for the title page. For the next slide, we're going to go up here, and we can go ahead and go to the next slide, which typically there's a couple options, but title and body is the most commonly used one. So we're going to just name it whatever we'd like. First page. Works just fine. And then we're going to add text with bullets. So again, we're going to go up here and find bullets, so it's not out there right there. So if we go to more, we can see here's where we have bullets. And that's all we're really using this for. We also want to insert a picture. We can go to insert in picture, or we can go to this little image right here. And we can choose to upload. We'll go ahead and put this speaker in there. And it usually comes out way too big, so by dragging the corner here, we can resize it. Put it wherever we want. This we can dismiss. So next we want to add an animation. So we can do that either by clicking transition, but if you don't see that because something else is clicked on there, because that changes, you could also go to view and animations here. We want to add an animation. We want to choose what wants to be animated. And here we can choose, let's try zoom in. And we can play that to see if it works. So from here we'll just, and there it goes and zooms in. And this way we can also have certain parts of our slide come in at different times so that you're not too overwhelmed with text all at once. Now in order to add a transition, you go up here to transitions and you can find, let's go with flip and play. And that would just add a little bit of a transition while changing from slide to slide. All right, and that is the end of our tutorial on our digital literacy assessment. Hopefully this was helpful. If there's anything that you still don't quite understand or would like to learn more about, please contact the AT department and we'd be happy to help.